Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Tuesday, the 19th of November. Reading through Amos with McShane, we read chapter 8, continued word of judgment on the nation of Israel. From verse 4, we have, "Hear this, you who trample the needy and do away with the poor of the land, saying, when will the new moon be over, that we may sell grain? And the Sabbath be ended, that we may market wheat, skimping on the measure, boosting the price, and cheating with dishonest scales, buying the poor with silver, and the needy for a pair of sandals, selling even the sweepings with the wheat." And as I read that, I thought, what a picture of a dysfunctional society, and how much like our society today, where the poor are taken advantage of so often. And I was just thinking of the stories that we had of the pensioners going to collect their pension, and the people handing out the pension saying, "Oh, we need to take a 50 Rand commission on your pension," lining their own pockets and exploiting the poor. And that is just one example. And as you look around society, you see it so often. And just this notion that running business badly with dishonest scales, and you think of how many sort of adverts aren't out there that when you actually see what they've painted in glowing colors, you realize it's a fraction of what they were offering. It's a fundamentally dishonest system. And one looks at that and you think, how does this continue? And unfortunately, it continues because people are sinful. It has been like that since the days of Amos. It continues today. And what we also notice here is that the people wanting to get away from the religion so they can carry on with business. Let the new moon be over, the Sabbath be ended, so that we can do business. And I think of how Sundays have changed, even in my lifetime. I can remember as a child where everything was closed on a Sunday. Today, everything's open on a Sunday and probably busier than any other day of the week. And that is just a reflection of how we've moved away from God as a society. And then we continue reading in verse 7, "The Lord has sworn by himself, the pride of Jacob, I will never forget anything they have done." And that's, on the one hand, it's a frightening kind of thought that God sees and he doesn't forget. The fact that in the last 50 years nothing has happened, it's not that it's been forgotten. God doesn't forget. And it's also an encouraging word that God sees and he knows what's going on, and there will be judgment, there will be people called to account, there will be a settling of debts. As God said, it is mine to avenge, and he will. And so as we look at a society where there seems to be so much dysfunction and so many problems, we can say God will not forget and will hold people to account. So even if they seem to get away with it, they haven't. And the challenge to us is let us walk diligently in God's way, being different to the rest of the world, because so much of society has moved so far from his standards. We can't use them to guide us. We have to live a life which is strange to most of the people of the world, but is aligned with God. So be encouraged in your walk with him to be different, to let his light shine through, and know that this world we live in does not have the last say. God does. Be blessed.